and welcome you to my newest podcast about achieving your best shape ever and the steps to transforming your life in order to get to those stages. Welcome, listeners. And I just wanted to tell you that embarking on a fitness journey and getting in the best shape of my life has been one of the best things that I've ever done for myself. It not only improves your self confidence and your self esteem, but it also just creates a mental mindset when you look at the world that really changes your life in a positive manner. So, just to tell you a little bit about myself and kind of where my background started, I was an athlete growing up my whole life, and I fell into the pits of alcohol and drugs and decided I needed to turn my life around at some point. So after 15 years of drinking and drugging and really running myself from an athlete into just this loser lifestyle, I finally decided to make the commitment to make changes myself. And yeah, I'm going to share with you today just a little bit of things about what helped me in the structure of how I set up my life and what changes I need to make. And when I was making these changes, I really had to look in the mirror and just tell myself, I said, hey, listen, is this the lifestyle that you really want to live? And it sounds so simple, but like looking in the mirror every day and holding yourself accountable and not listening to that little voice, that negative voice inside your head telling you that things are impossible, just saying, listen, that they could be, but I'm I'm going to try. I'm going to keep doing these things. Um, and the longer that you stick with these things, the better off you're going to be. I mean, you're going to be able to build confidence over time. You're going to start to feel the momentum, waking up, going to the gym every day, especially when you don't want to, get up out of bed or you want to just hit that snooze button. I don't recommend it. The confidence you build by just getting little wins daily. That's how you win the overall battle of losing weight, fighting depression, and all these different things that you might be going through. So, uh, on the first segment here, I wanted to talk about setting your goals and understanding why you're creating goals. So, first and foremost, for me, I was tired of being a loser. I knew God had put me on this planet to do greater things in this world, and I just said, it's almost a slap in the face to my creator by treating my body, my temple, the way I have been. And so I made it a goal. I said, I want to lose at least 50 pounds. So my playing weight during baseball, when I was a Division I baseball player at UC Santa Barbara, I was about 180 pounds. I wanted to get down from 245 to 190 pounds. And about 45 pounds, you know, 55 pounds, I guess you could say. But, my goal was, hey, if I could at least lose 40 to 50, I think I'd feel like that's a win for me. Um, so I said, I'm going to go to the gym every day. I'm going to do research and development on all the supplements. I'm going to figure out who had already gone down that path that I wanted to go down. And I wanted to learn as much as I can from them. I also wanted to take the old science and then look at the new science and compare, and contrast both of them. I wanted to look at the different types of diets, and I wanted to figure out, how carbs, proteins, and fats worked in the body, the actual physiology behind it. And then so I just became a nerd. I hopped online. I went on Chat GPT. I got on my computer and watched YouTube videos. I was listening to podcasts. I was scrolling through Instagram, following some, very high-end influencers that have, been well known in the health and fitness world. Guys like Paul Saladino and guys like that's the guy's name that wrote the Bulletproof Diet. But yeah, so from learning from these guys and gals and listening to what they've been, you know, researching for years, I was able to absorb that information like a sponge and then reciprocate that information back into the people that I end up deciding to help someday with my fitness brand. So the number one, I wanted to respect my creator, right? I love myself too. I had to learn to love myself. My self-esteem was really down. I felt like I was a failure. I wanted to be a professional baseball player. I felt like I failed. I'd done nothing with my life at this point. I got a college degree and went and got a corporate job for almost 10 years. And, that's where I was in my life. Secondly, I want to talk about building a strong foundation. So the people that you surround yourself with while trying to achieve your goals can highly impact the results that you get. I'm going to say that again. The people you surround yourself with can impact the results that you get. And I'm not saying this necessarily in a negative manner. This is also in a positive manner. If you hang around 10 guys in the gym who are out to get absolutely shredded and jacked all the time, you'll probably be the 11th. That's a very common phrase nowadays. Hang around five losers, you'll be the sixth. But it's true. It it's basic life. Hang around enough losers, you'll become a loser. Hang around enough winners, you'll become a winner. I found a home gym that I truly loved. It's called Redcon. It's in Boca Raton, Florida, right on the border of Delray Beach. And I walked into this place and I had no idea what I was really doing. I mean, I had a background in lifting at, college and stuff, and I dabbled in the gym for many years, but never did I really take it to a serious level where I said, hey, I'm going to go every day and I'm going to just keep my ears open and my eyes open and I'm going to absorb everything like a sponge. And in the beginning, I was an introvert. I was very body shamed. I was going into the gym and I felt like all these other people who are in really good shape were, making a lot more progress in life than me. And I was just some, fat, out of shape loser guy who was trying to recover from being an alcoholic and drinking 4 to 5 times a week and, sniffing cocaine and taking ecstasy and Molly and all these stupid things. Now that I look back at it, yeah, did I have a good time? Of course. I'm never going to, hate on the life I had. When I lived in Nashville, I was a freaking rock star. But now I looked at these people like they were rock stars. I'm like, wow, an amazing life you live. You're not necessarily all sober, but a lot of them don't drink a lot of alcohol. They fuel their body with the right food. They take the right supplements. Some of these people, yes, do they take steroids and stuff like that, and like peptides? Of course, that's part of the game. If you want to compete in fitness and step on stage, that's a given. All these people that claim they're natty bodybuilders and stuff. There's a lot of them out there, I'm sure, but there is also probably for the most part many, many, many people who are once not natural and decided they were going to become natural. So there's a big difference there. But um, I myself looked up to a lot of these people and I straight up asked them, I said, hey, I need to know what's your recipe? What do you recommend? How much cardio should I do? What kind of cardio should I do? If I'm lifting weights, if I'm doing back day, pull day, if I'm doing chest day, push day, or if I'm doing a leg day, what exactly are you doing to get your legs to look like that or your chest to look like that? Because I want what you have, right? So part of what I do now is a lot of people have looked at my story and they're like, hey, whatever you did, I want that as well. And that's why I do what I do, because I get to help people. It's not about the money for me. It's about the ability to have those connections in this world, because I know that's me thanking my higher power for blessing me by showing me the way to give me this path to get back to the person that I was built to become. And that is a leader in this world. I do not want to be a follower. I want to be a leader. I want to be a lion, not a lamb. I don't want to be sacrificed to this world. I want to be the one who helps people eat. I want to be the one that helps people feel better about their lives or be a better father or mother to their kids. That's what really gets me going. uh, so the foundation, right, talking about that, part of that is also the nutritional side. So what are you putting in your body, right? I went in the pantry right away. I threw away every single piece of shit food. I said, if it's processed, if it's, got a lot of potential chemicals in it, gone. I went to the grocery store, and this is something I wish I would have learned a long time ago. Don't always buy fresh veggies. Buy frozen veggies, buy frozen fruits. They last a lot longer. Find ways to preserve things. Like, I'll give you a little biohack here for uh, fruits. Avocados are actually a fruit. And if you put them in a container of water, they will not go bad as quickly as when you leave them out in your fruit basket, or you put them in the fridge and let them sit in the corner of your deli bucket for weeks at a time. I actually store all my avocados in water and they last for a very, very long time. I'd say up to probably about a month. The other thing is, you know, making meals and prepping meals and just having food readily available. This is a hack that I learned from a lot of fitness people, and this is why they meal prep. The human mind gets cravings, and we have instant wants and needs that are very hard to resist. It's part of the reason why people do drugs. I've realized that. You know, if someone's at a party and someone says, "Hey, do you want to try some of this?" Yeah, why not? You know, it's like it's peer pressure type situation. It's really hard to say no when your stomach's growling at you and it's saying, "Hey, hey, that candy bar that's sitting in your pantry. Oh my God, doesn't that look so good?" And your mind's going, "Oh, yeah, that does look good." It's sending the signal from your brain to your stomach. And now these guys are teaming up against you. Your heart's saying, "No, no, I'm on a good diet. I can't do this." And your mind and your gut are going, "Oh, yeah, but you want that candy bar, don't you? You want to eat that half a pack of Oreos that are left in there, don't you?" Well, I will tell you right now, I found out the hard way. I used to eat those half a pack of Oreos, even when I was training 2 times a day and burning, 1,000 calories a day on my workouts. I was like, "Oh yeah, I could eat extra calories. I'm burning them off. Why not? I'm still going to be in a deficit." Well, the problem with that is you have to learn it's not just about the proteins, the carbs, and the fats and the macros. It's also about the sugars. It's also about your blood. So maintaining healthy blood sugars is one of the main catalysts to losing weight, and keeping yourself from storing extra fat. People tend to think that eating fats will make you fat. Not necessarily the case. If you eat good fats, they sometimes will help you actually burn more fat. So the overall key though is calories in, calories out. Nothing's ever going to override that. If you're in a calorie deficit daily, aka you're burning um, calories and you're eating less than what your body normally ingests, you're probably going to lose some weight. Your body's going to have to draw to get those extra calories from your body. If you're in a calorie surplus, yes, you could put on some fat, but if you're doing it in the right manner by counting your macros, by eating more proteins and healthy fats and keeping your carb intake at a reasonable level, yeah, you can actually add lean body mass as well. You'll see a lot of bodybuilders eating, 250, 350 grams of carbohydrates per day. It's very common. I tried the same thing, didn't work for me. I got very sick. I was eating too many simple carbs. I got insulin resistance. And, there's some of you out there that might be feeling shitty or feeling like you're getting blood sugar, highs and lows from, eating carbs that turn straight into sugar in your bloodstream. We're talking about your monosaccharides and your disaccharides. That also comes with fructose and certain fruits, right? It's going to be natural blood sugar spikes, but it's still going to spike your blood sugar. So if you do deal with these situations, it's good to have just a little blood monitor. You prick your finger, put the little blood droplet on there, and it tells you what your fasting blood sugar is in the morning. That's before you've eaten or drinking anything. And then you have your after you eat glucose levels, which Google them, Chat GPT that, whatever's an optimal range for you and your BMI and your body type. And most people that are pre-diabetic are going to be 6.0 or higher on the A1C levels for their blood. And then I recommend getting a blood test, just understanding, are you pre-diabetic, are you already diabetic? Those could be major factors on your diet and your workouts as well. There are drugs that people can get on to lower their A1C levels, like metformin. I've never taken anything like that, but I know some people that do and say it works very, very well. I use a natural supplement that was told to me by someone at my gym called berberine, and I actually find that to help me with my insulin resistance. And then also adaptogenic mushrooms. I actually buy the coffee that's already mixed in with the mushrooms, and I just heat up some hot water in a boiler, and then I pour it in a cup and put in the mushroom powder with the coffee inside of it. And that's actually helped a lot as well. So these are little tidbits we'll talk about in my program. If you guys ever want to sign up for my program, I'm charging minimal amounts. We're talking, to join my school group, you guys will be at base prices of like 10, 20, $30 per month for the packages. I do one-on-one calls with people as well. And that kind of leads us into segment 3 here. I'm going to talk a lot in my programs about the exercise and physical activity, what types of workouts to do and how to do them, and how often you should be doing them and how much time you should be doing them. I'll give you an example here. Walking on a treadmill. People think, why would you want to walk? The key factor in losing weight for me and my body type and a lot of my clients that I work with is just getting enough steps in per day. If you're getting that 8,000 to 10,000, preferably even as high as 12,000 steps per day, you're going to definitely be, losing some body fat. We want to stay in that body fat burn zone for your heart rate. And we'll talk more about that in the future here. But, at an optimal heart rate zone, you're going to burn more fat. Your body's going to process fat out of your system. It's going to have fat utilization. So how do you choose what workouts to do? That's a tough one. I took many years of doing research and development on strength training and cardio, HIIT workouts, CrossFit. I mean, I've pretty much done it all. And the most important thing I found is just consistency. Overall, more than anything, picking up weights and how often you do it and how well you let your body recover each time you do it. So it's a very basic formula on my end. Um, it's also mental strength, right? And your lifestyle, how that affects your ability to cope with the mental stress that you're going to put on yourself. It's actually been researched that if you work out in the morning every day and get some physical form of exercise, you're going to see a rise in dopamine levels in your brain, serotonin, all these chemicals that, basically lead to mental positive states. Those chemicals are going to actually be on the rise just from getting outside, getting some sunlight, going for a walk, basic stuff. So I try and get moving as soon as I can throughout the day. I actually go on a walk in the morning with my cats. It's so stupid. I know it sounds hilarious, but I take my animals on a walk with me and we go walk around the neighborhood and I just get in 10, 15, 20 minutes of sunlight. And then I usually will hop on my computer, get some work done. At lunchtime, I'll go get on the treadmill for about 20 to 25 minutes, usually walking uphill, 6 to 10 incline at a 3 to 4.5 speed. Um, Sorry, my cat's, he's over here trying to say hi to me right now. Hold on, let me introduce you guys. This is my cat Kershaw. This is my boy. I've got two girls too, but this is my Panther and my best buddy. He sleeps with me every night. Ain't that right, buddy? Thank you. Oh, what a nice boy. Yeah. So let's keep this going here. So the other segment I wanted to bring up with you guys is implementing changes. How do you do it? Right? You're living this lifestyle. You've been doing the same thing for years. This was me. I'll tell you my story. I'm out at the bars almost every night because I'm lonely. I'm lonely. I grew up a mama's boy. I didn't want to ever be alone. I was so used to being around my family, and I think it was back in 2012 or 13. I had a girlfriend that broke up with me. I was so sad. I was depressed. I was crying. I felt like a failure. The root cause of my failure and why I was resorting to drugs and alcohol right away was because I hurt myself in baseball, and I could literally see my dreams of becoming a major league baseball player, which I thought about every day since I was a child. I watched my uncles growing up and my cousins playing in the major leagues, and I was like, that's going to be me. And it just wasn't going to happen. And it started with an injury. I fell off a bicycle and I separated my AC joint, my throwing shoulder. I came back from that injury actually stronger, throwing harder than ever. But over time, my labrum in my right throwing shoulder just deteriorated, and I had to have a Bankert and slap tear repaired on the front and back of my shoulder. And I came back and I was feeling good again. And I threw a ball playing in a men's baseball tournament out in Las Vegas with the San Diego Knights. I threw a ball across the diamond and I'll never forget it. I just felt it tear open again. And it was one of the most agonizing pains I've ever felt in my life. And it was depressing. I knew I couldn't afford to have another surgery. And I brought all that pain with me wherever I went. So in relationships, um, I was seeking a lot of love because I needed it. I was really hurt and I was really down and out. And so when I moved to Nashville, I brought all that pain and suffering with me. I was partying, and everybody thought, oh well, this guy looks like he's having the time of his life, but deep down inside, I was sick and suffering, and I was really in a bad mental state. And there was many times I thought about just taking my life. I said, you know what? Let's go out with a bang. I don't need to live till I'm 50, 60 years old because I'm not going to ever be happy, never going to be married. I'm selfish because I didn't get to live out my dreams. So why would I want to, you know, everything was just so about me, 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 me. You can't be that way in terms of like health and fitness. Yeah, you have to be selfish. But when it comes to like building a life with a family and stuff, I've realized the happiest people in my life have families. They have children. They have a beautiful life that they can live together, and they're super proud of the person that helps them raise those children, and they'll do anything in their path to make sure that they keep that family structure intact, doing everything they can to be the best father or be the best mother that they can. Shout out to all the single mothers and single fathers out there too. I know you guys are working really hard, and it's really hard to stay in shape. And please reach out to me sometime if you ever feel like you have any questions or need help. Time management is definitely something that's a tough component when it comes to making these changes in your life and implementing them. So setting goals, priority number one. Write things down, put shit on paper. I'm going to tell you again, write these goals down. Get a whiteboard, get a notebook, get something, even a post-it note, and stick it right on your bathroom mirror every morning. I used to do that. I would take window chalk and I would write on my mirror, "You will not be fat." And I'd look at that every day and go, "I will not be fat." There's this guy on my team, Eddie. He's go. He's from Venezuela. He would go, "Fick, you look fat, fat Fick, Fick, fat fuck." And I would be like, "Oh, fucking hate you, but I'm so happy to have you on my team because you remind me every day that I'm a fat piece of shit. I need to make changes." So, um, even the negatives in life sometimes are good, humble reminders to you that, hey, you better figure it out. You got to make some changes. Um, so, another component of making changes in your life is definitely going to be that you have a will, and it can't just be self will. Sometimes it has to be God's will, and if you don't believe in a God, I'm sorry for you. I will stand my ground on this topic anytime because I used to be not really an atheist, but I just wasn't a strong believer that there was something greater looking out for me. But that's something that they taught me in AA. I walked into these rooms as a broken soul. One of the first things they said to me was, you have to, give up everything to a thought and belief that there is a higher power. They didn't say God. They didn't say Jesus. They didn't say Muhammad or Allah. They said a higher power. And I've realized in the fitness world, it's the same thing. You have to just believe that if you continue to do what you're called upon to do by showing up every day, that you will be blessed with the results that you're looking for. If you continue to go to the grocery store with a plan, buying what you know you should be buying instead of the shit that they want you to buy, right? Look at a grocery store, the layout. The outsides of the grocery store are the only healthy parts. Everything in between the aisles is shit for you. Pretty much everything, other than maybe rice. Rice, but I don't even eat a lot of rice. I'm brown rice, maybe a small half cup I'll eat like once a week, if that. Sweet potatoes, stuff like that. I mean, I'm going outside to the aisles where it's really healthy stuff. I'm eating the red meats. I'm getting the free range chicken, the free range eggs, the grass fed butter, the coconut oils, and all that stuff. Just how about just regular coconuts? How about grinding up some coconut, making your own coconut milk with some cheesecloth. These little recipes that you can look up online by taking real food, which is bioavailable. Look up that word. We'll talk about that on the next episode. But having bioavailable nutrients that absorb into your body more. You can take something synthetic and throw it in your mouth like supplements in a pill form. Your body might only absorb about 10 to 20% of that pill. It's the truth. That's why you have to take so many micrograms or milligrams of something, because it's not going to absorb completely into your body. Food absorbs a lot more. Real nutrients, non-synthetic, non-processed, is going to actually make your body feel a lot better. Go on a whole food diet for a week and tell me your life doesn't change. I'll wait. Come back and tell me I'm wrong. I'll wait. Now, if you're eating the wrong things, some things can make you bloated. Keep that in mind. So that might not make you feel good. Like if you have food sensitivities, I highly recommend that you go take a food sensitivity test and also a GI test. You want to check out what the bacteria in your gut looks like. If you have too much of one thing or too little of another, that could really throw you off. And believe it or not, your gut actually is one of the main causes of how you think and feel. Yes, that's the truth. Gut bacteria can lead to thoughts and emotions in your brain. So if you're not having good gut health, you might be having bad brain health. That's a real thing. Look it up. But yeah, I hope you guys, found a lot of encouragement in this podcast. I just wanted to, kind of summarize what we talked about here. First and foremost, plan your goals, write them down on paper, understand why you're doing these things, build yourself a strong foundation, not only with friends and family and people you surround yourself with, but also the environment that you're in, and also the nutritional, background that you're going to have in your life. Go through your fridge, go through your pantry, throw out everything that could be a tease to you, and implement, new recipes into your life, and meal prepping and these other things that are going to be better for you. And then plan out your physical activity. Have an approach: push day, pull day, leg day, splits. If you don't know how to do those things, again, that's why people like me are out there. I'm very affordable. My plans range anywhere from, private stuff from $100 to $300 a month. So message me, send me a request on School. If you want to join my community, I do some programs in there. It's $10 a month, $20 a month, or $30 a month for my programs. The top tier, being my one-on-one coaching calls once a week. So you get 4 calls a month for $30. It's not bad. And you get to ask any questions you want. And you also have my personal cell phone number. You can text and call me anytime. The other thing too is I wanted to close out by talking about the mental side, right? And how to implement the changes in your life that you need to create a better mental mindset. Staying positive. Don't listen to that little voice in your head. Read books, listen to podcasts of influential people, smart people that you should be listening to, people who don't go down the negative path. I don't want you watching mainstream media and doing all this stuff like the news. Hey, someone died today. Oh, blah, blah, blah. This is bad for your health. Science finds that this might actually kill you. It's like there's too much going on in this world right now. Just focus on the positive things. And if you see something that's negative, exit out of your life. When I'm on Instagram and I see some big booty hoe or whatever posting stuff like naked selfies on here, block, see you later. You're no longer going to be in my feed anymore. You have to take the action to do these things. Otherwise, the world will consume you. So don't let it do that. Lastly, I just wanted to thank everybody for taking the time to sit here for 30 minutes with me and listen to me blabber. But I hope you took away some things from this podcast, and there's some actionable items that you can actually go and do to change your life. Do me a favor, click that like button and hit subscribe. And I definitely look forward to talking to you guys here in the near future about some other hot topics. If you have anything that you'd want me to discuss on here, you can message me on my Instagram at Fick Fitness or on TikTok at Fick Fitness. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks.